Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about some important things that we need to know when renting a property in Australia. Renting a property for you to stay is one of the most important things that you have to do once you come to Australia. Renting a property in Australia can be very challenging for a new migrant as they don't have rental history in Australia. But in this video, we'll talk about some of the tips that can be helpful for us to find a good rental property. In Australia, there are numerous ways that you could find a rental property. As you can see on the screen, I have included some of the most common ways that you could find a rental property in Australia. So you have some real estate websites such as domain.com and realestate.com, and also we have another website which has classified advertisements which is Gumtree, and also we have Facebook Marketplace. And apart from that, you can contact or visit real estate agents in the area that you are interested in renting a property to inquire about rental properties that are available in that area. And also you can look for rental property advertisements in newspapers as well. There are many things to consider when renting a property in Australia. So we'll discuss about some of those. The most important thing is your budget. So you have to decide how much you are ready to put aside for your rent. And also it's important to consider about public transport, especially if you are thinking to use public transport to travel to work and to school. And also for growing families with children, it's important to consider the proximity to schools. And also if you have any special preferences in schools, maybe consider moving closer to those schools. And also amenities such as sport facilities and shops are also important to consider. And the last point is reputation of the area, which is actually you can get information from the locals in that area, or else if you have any families and friends that you know from that area, you could ask their opinion about that area as well. As I mentioned earlier, getting a rental property in Australia is a bit of a challenge without a rental history. That is mainly because you have to compete with other applicants who have a rental history. So it is important to make sure that your application stands out among other applications. So how can we make this possible? One way is to find a guarantor. A guarantor is someone who provides a guarantee to the landlord that you pay rent on time, or else that he's gonna pay rent on behalf of you. You could also set up a direct debit from your bank account to pay the rent, and also you can provide a letter of reference from your employer to prove that you are employed in Australia. You could also make an offer to secure a rental property in Australia. For an example, let's say the rent of the property is $350 per week. You could offer $375 per week. But one thing to remember is it's important to do your research before making such an offer. For an example, if you offered $375 per week for a 4-bedroom house, you can do your research and find out how much is the rent for a 4-bedroom house in that area. You can include referees in your rental application. These referees could be from your school, or if you are a university student, that could be one of your lecturers, or else if you are employed, that could be your employer. One of the most effective ways to secure a rental property in Australia is to pay 6-month rent in advance. And if you are capable of paying this 6-month rent in advance, definitely go for that option. On this screen, I have included the general process in renting a rental property in Australia. The first step is look for a house for rent or lease, and then contact the landlord or the property manager, and then schedule an in-person visit. Submit your rental application and sign rental tenancy agreement. Submit your rental bond and rent in advance. Submit a property condition report, and the last step is move in. So there are some technical words in this process, so we will unpack those words in coming videos. It is always a good idea to take some of the important documents with you when you go for an inspection. So the documents that you could take with you include some photo IDs and proof of employment and your income, and maybe a letter from your bank confirming your account balance, and also a letter of reference from your previous landlord if you have one, and also character references. Renting property in Australia is a very big topic, so I'll see you in my next video with part 2 of renting property in Australia. Thank you so much.